telling, man, every now and then I go to Egypt, dog, and I see some cats I used to run with, and they come up to me, man, they be like, yo, show, man, let's get back to some dirt, and I be like, hold up, pump your brakes, you're doing 90 to 30. And I'm like, look, I can't do that no more. And them cats be like, why? I gotta articulate real well to them, man. I just like, yo, man, Christ died for my sins, I love the Lord, I got a spirit in me. And to sum it all up, man, it's because I'm in love. I'm in love. And they like, you in love with who? I'm like, with a high love. The most high God, man, I am that I am. Jehovah.
Good afternoon, Young Kings. Time for your more motivation. Decided to jump on real quick, give you an update on where I'm at in this reforming my reality. One thing I think you understand but don't really comprehend is, like, after I shut these videos off, I still have to go through and walk out my life and living in an authentic version of trying to attain my higher self. So when you do that, you're going to come up against a lot of things that come at you to see if you really mean what you say or say what you mean, or if this is just something for the glitz and the glam, for the camera. But this is my life. This is what I'm living in. I'm walking you into taking you along this journey, and hopefully your journey too. You're just not looking at it from an entertainment perspective, but also from an equipping perspective of some things you may encounter. Like I said in my last stream, you got to wake up. You got to come out of your dreaming and introduce those things into this physical realm. And I gave you a life hack about start walking in the higher version of yourself, start calling yourself a king, start speaking positive of yourself, and you'll realize people will start showing you how they really feel about you. And they won't be able to hide it. They can't camouflage it, because once you start authentically being who you are, people are not going to be allowed to be on the fence. And if you let them on the fence, that's an indictment against you. So they either got to be all in or they got to be all out. And some people are not going to agree with you. And everybody that disagrees with me is not wrong. They're just not right either. But I'm okay with people disagreeing with me and having a different point of view about my life. But when it comes down to it, it's my life. So there's been a lot that has transpired over this since I did the last video. A lot of exciting things, a lot of growth, a lot of opportunity. And I'm looking forward to what the Lord is going to continue to do in my life. He's moving in a mighty way, and I'm just going to kind of like humble myself enough to be a recipient of it. There's a saying out there that when God's talking to you, who is he talking to? He's talking to you. So there's a lot of people that may be having a word from the Lord for you, or they may be want to speak into your life, or they think they know what's best for you better than you know for you. But when it comes down to it, this is your life, and you got to live it to a point where you're the one that's responsible and accountable for everything that goes on in your life. So don't live by the opinions of others and what others may say and how they may be disappointed in this and that. That's irrelevant. This is your life. So you get with the Most High, you get with God, and then you see fit where God sees fit to communicate to you. When somebody speaks into your life, they should be confirming. You should be so in love with the Most High and becoming your higher self. When people speak into your life, they should be confirming some things that's already been spoken to you from high. So there shouldn't be bringing no new revelation. If you go to a church or to a spiritual gathering and they telling you they got this new revelation, then that's your sign to look for that exit sign and get out the door. You don't need a new revelation. You need to execute the already established revelation that's been given to you. So if somebody giving you some new stuff, then you need to be wary on that. So I realized we're going to stay parked on this reforming my reality for this year. Kind of like what we did with the Lion King last year. We're going to park here on this reforming our reality. But this is going to be a departure from our regularly scheduled program. Like, I had notes and stuff, and I still have them, and I'll bring it up probably on the next video on things I need to communicate to you about reforming our reality. But this is about to be a drastic departure from what we have normally been doing. Speaking of that, I know you probably see the logo. I got the I Am King logo, so I'm going to start rocking my own gear and stuff of that nature. So I had this established, and I got it first developed Saturday. Was the first time. Check it out. The I Am King, still royalty. I Am King. Of course, it's my LLC, running my business. So I'm running that, and I'm not marketing for you to sell. This is for me. I got them in blue. Look at that. I Am King. And I got a meeting coming up in another day or so just to refine some things and get some additional things on my hoodie. Look at the quality on that. This is stitched in. Like, you're not washing this off. Your whatever jacket is on will go bad before you see this fade. And that's the same thing about being still royalty. Meaning, like, a lot of stuff has happened to us in our lives, but it hasn't diminished our value. No one can diminish your value, and you don't need to shrink for anybody as well. Don't shrink so other people will feel comfortable around you. Live your life out loud. Live your life the way that you want it to be lived. And I say, live your life the way you want it to be lived. And I'm not giving you a license just to go off and do anything reckless. I'm telling you, like, once you get connected to the Most High, He would take you on a trajectory that's different than the people around you. And some of them, when you move and you grow, you're going to influence people around you to have to grow, or they're going to have to go. And that's what I was saying, like, in previous videos. And I'm getting somewhere with this. I'm not just rambling. There's a point behind this. In previous videos, I says, have every relationship you connected with grow as you go. Meaning, like, every relationship that you connected to needs to go as you grow. So that means if you grow together, it's okay for y'all to be together. And if y'all are growing apart, you got one or two things to do. You can either reconcile and then start growing back together, or then maybe it's time, if y'all can't reconcile and get back together, then maybe it's time for y'all to go apart. So every relationship that you're connected to needs to go as you grow. If you're growing together, then it's okay for y'all to be together. But if y'all not growing together, then maybe it's time for y'all to either maybe get some additional outside help so y'all can reconcile, so y'all can start walking together. There's a scripture in Amos 3. I think it's 3:1 through 3:3. It may be 3:3. And it says, can two walk together unless they agree? There's a statement, and the obvious question is no. Like, if you're going to be walking together, then y'all need to be in agreement. Like, what direction are you traveling? You know, what's the speed? What's the pace? Like, you all two cannot walk together unless they agree. And you're not going to be able to attain your higher version of yourself unless you're agreeing with the Most High. Like, you can't be in disagreement with the Most High and still try to attain your higher self. Those things are not, they're not beneficial for you to even try. So can two walk together unless they agree? So if you're not in agreement, then you need to kind of take a pause and that's what I say, every relationship you're connected to needs to grow as you go. So if you grow apart, then maybe it's time to be apart if you can't reconcile that thing. I had a message to the young lady I was dating. We either got to evolve or dissolve. Like, I am dating with a purpose. I know a lot of people got different opinions about dating, courting, and stuff of that nature. But for me, I was dating with a purpose. Meaning, like, we either got to evolve or we got to dissolve. But we can't remain stagnant in the same position for an extended period of time and not show any growth or development. So we either had to evolve or we had to dissolve. And some decisions had to be made because that's connected to my higher version of myself. Like, I can't be saying I'm reaching the higher version of myself and I'm still, wallowing in dirt and not really trying to grow and become a better version of me. Not better than anybody else, but a better version of me. So I couldn't have a contradiction of my belief in my execution and the way I live my life. Like, when I turn these cameras off, I still got to live my life in a way that's helping me attain to a higher version of myself. So those who've been following me for this journey know that it's been a roller coaster ride. It hasn't been all good. There's been a lot of hurt, harm, and danger that's been cast my way. A lot been going on. And a lot of people are questioning the decisions I made. So without further ado, to let you know why I interrupted this broadcast, the king is engaged. Like, yeah, the king had to, man up and do man things. My girlfriend, we have been cohabitating for a while, just over a year. The relationship has been blissful. It hasn't been perfect, but it's been increasingly better. I've seen growth in her, and enough to where I said we had to evolve or dissolve. And now it's time to evolve. So when I got off the camera last time, I surveyed a few people, a few trusted advisors, friends, family, and this and that. And everybody spoke against it. Wasn't nobody really feeling this? Hey man, you ain't been divorced that long, this and that. And everybody gave me 100 million reasons why we couldn't do it. Some did it in a professional way. Some did it in a little more harsh way. Like, who do you think you are? You're going through this midlife crisis. And they started ranting and raving and all this. But I had already made up my mind. Me and my lady had started, Keisha had started premarital counseling. And when we went to premarital counseling, the counselor's like, hey, y'all going to get married. And it's going to be sooner than later. I said, nah, I'm thinking, engaged maybe later on this year and then married the following year. I wasn't planning on that. I was just planning on just kind of like taking my time to assess and determine if this was the woman that was for me. And through that process, everything came up against us in the form of people just really not being on board. And everybody had their opinion. And once again, people are entitled to their opinion. I let people be wrong. I mean, I'm okay with them being wrong. That's okay. You can't live your life for other people. So made a decision, and everybody came up against this decision. I even got a short story coming, a short film, a love story coming. I'll have that out, and I don't know when I'm going to do it, but I'm documenting my journey. But anyways, everybody had their opinion. And so I was just contemplating with this, and I was up to 2 with one of the neighbors, and we were talking about some less than desirable topics. And, up to 2 in the morning, Friday morning, going into Saturday. And finally went to bed around 2. And then I was woke up about 5, around 5:15, I got up. And I got up with the message. My spirit quickened me and came to Romans 6. And it says, shall you continue in sin that grace might abound? And then verse 2 starts off with certainly not. So I was like, okay, Lord, if this is what you want to do, you're going to have to make a way to make this work. Because I don't know how this is going to line up, but obviously everybody in the physical realm is against this. But if you're telling me this is what you want to do, then I'm depending on you to make this work. So this is 5 in the morning. It's like Romans 6. And it was, my spirit is just talking to me. So I go in the bathroom, to get ready for my day. And we were already planning on doing a movie day. We were supposed to be doing a movie day. And in between movies, we were going to be shopping for rings and stuff of that nature. Shopping for rings, not buying one, just shopping for one for the Valentine's Day weekend. Go out to breakfast, and then I had all these plans going. So when I get to the bathroom in the morning, about 5 something, the Lord is speaking to me about continuing in sin. So I was like, Lord, if this is what you want me to do, then this is what we're going to do. But I need you to make this work today, because I don't know how it's going to work. So I says, I'm sitting on the toilet, and I'm probably giving you too much information. But anyways, I'm sitting there, and I have my phone. I says, well, let me look up and see what's out there. And I look up, and, Kay's Jeweler had 25% off store-wide. And then they had 18 months same as cash. Cause I was like, Lord, I got about 2,000 I can do on this. But we can find a ring within that budget. But, I'm depending on you to make this work. So when I looked on Kay's, they had 25% off. I said, okay, you're working with me. Maybe we can find a little more, but it'll be 25% off and it'll be down. And then they had this thing, 18 months same as cash. So I got good credit and stuff. I applied, and they gave me a few stacks on there to do that. It's like, okay, now you show me there's a possibility for this to happen. So, okay, let's see how this is going to work. I run an Airbnb. I have an Airbnb guest here at this time, and they're about to check out and go see the Lion King play, which me and my lady had seen the week before. And talking with the Airbnb guests, they were just engaged. They were, looking forward to going to see the Lion King, and just their wedding is the following year. And they were just talking to me about the excitement. So I was like, okay, they delayed me on getting out the door because I was talking down to the Airbnb guest. So finally we get up, we get dressed and get situated. We don't get out the house until 11:11. And me and my lady have this thing about numbers, 11:11. And as soon as it comes on, we say happy, healthy, wealthy. You know, just manifesting stuff. Happy, healthy, wealthy. So we jump in a Jeep and it's 11:11. We say happy, healthy, wealthy. Happy, healthy, wealthy. And we go on off to breakfast. The place we were going to go for breakfast was the place we met at. But by now it's 11:15 or so. And they're no longer serving breakfast. So she says, let's go out to Anna's house. It's a place in Grand Ledge. I know it's going to be crowded, but let's just go there. We're not in a hurry. We'll just go out there. So we go out there to Anna's house in the town over, and we get there and the parking lot is full. I said, man, this is going to be a while. So walk in, you know, she still got her crutch and stuff from her fall. I walk in, I say, how long is the wait? And the lady at the desk, she says, it's going to be about an hour and a half wait. I said, okay. And then she looks at me. She was like, well, if you ready right now, I can put you back in this booth and y'all can go sit right now. So I said, yeah, I'll go sit right now. So they usher us to the table and we get set up at the table. And we just sitting there kicking it, talking. I got my GoPro and we're filming different stuff throughout the day. And she was like, well, what movie you want to see? I said, I don't know, look up the movie and see what's playing and we can go from there. And we'll just, you know, we already running late. We'll just play by what movie comes up next and we'll go see that. So we're sitting there just talking and she gets on and she looks up the movie. She says, well, this movie is playing right next to us. It's called Marry Me. I was like, okay, what time is it playing? She says it's playing in about an hour. I said, well, that's enough time for us to finish eating and get over there. So we go see this movie, Marry Me, which Jennifer Lopez in. It was a good movie. It talks about love being difficult and stuff of that nature. And before the movie, we get to the movie, you know, she's taking pictures in front of the Marry Me sign. And then we go into the movie theater and we're just joking around. And we said first movie, and I'm filming her. She says first movie of the day, Marry Me. And she was like, I said, you hear that? She proposed to me. She asking me to marry me. She asked me to marry her. She said, no, you're going to marry me. And I said, facts. And we go through and watch the movie. Like I said, it's a good movie, talking about a lot of stuff. And then after the movie, we decided to go over to the jewelry store just to look. But I knew what was my assignment was to buy. So we walk into the mall and, you know, obviously walking a little slow because she's on a crutch. So I said, well, you go ahead to the jewelry store. I'm going to duck in and look at some glasses and see if I can get me some glasses. So she's go ahead and I duck in, I get some glasses and then give her time to get her distance away. So eventually she makes her way down to a jewelry store and I'm coming out of the glass shop and I'm asking her where she's at. And she says she's at a jewelry store. So I walk down there to Kay's Jeweler because I just went online for them. But she's in the one across the hallway. But she didn't see me. So I went into Kay's Jeweler, met your jeweler lady, and explained to her what was going on, that my lady's about to come back in here. We need to find a ring, and then I'm going to propose in the store. So set it up. Then I go back and meet her at her store. You know, she's like, hey, where were you at? I was like, hey, looking at some glasses and this and that. And she had found a ring that she liked, and the lady had said, why don't y'all do this right now? Back it up a little. That's what I told the lady to say at the Kay's Jeweler store. I said, when she come in here and once you find out something she likes, I want you to say, why don't you go ahead and do it right now? But I went to the other store and she was in there and the lady said it over there. And I was like, hey, don't put me on the spot. I'm just out here window shopping, whatever. Let's go. Let's continue to look. So I usher her over to Kay's and she's looking and she can't find nothing. And then the lady's like, hey, I got something down for you to look at. And she put that ring on and it was a set. And she was like, hey, why don't y'all do this right now? So I got down and I proposed and we got engaged to get married. And I say all that to say, like, the guy hand was on this whole day. And there's more that happened throughout that day. We ended up going to dinner. We did a toast with people in the restaurant. And it was just so many different things that the Most High was was just, hands was on everything that we did. And I remember when I told her after counseling one day, I said, you know what? We should go on and get married this year. And then we left the house that day and we seen a rainbow, which signifying the covenant. And I say all that to say this. It's like, I think I found the one. It's no think about it. This is the one. There's obviously an age difference between us that people are hating on. Like, I'm 46 and she's 30. Well, she'll be 31 this year. So there's a 16-year age difference. But her emotional intelligence, the growth, and how she stewards herself is amazing. It's not perfect. There's some things in there that we had to work on and resolve. Like, I remember when we met, and she's probably embarrassed by I say this, but I'll say it anyway because my mouth always gets me in trouble. She used to smoke weed, and I used to say, hey, you know, my woman don't smoke. Like, it's okay for you to smoke, but it's not okay for you to smoke and still expect to be with me. And I know it sounds arrogant, but that was just a stance that I had. I didn't want a lady that smoked, and she don't smoke anymore. You know, she's a beautiful woman, and at one time she wanted to go and do the Instagram thing and go get this tucked and this and that. I says, no, it wasn't expected me to pay for it, and she was going to pay for it. I says, no, like, it's okay if you do that, but it's not okay if you do that and still be with me. Now, I got this gym membership. We can go to Planet Fitness. We can go to the Y. We can work on what we need to work on in the gym, but my lady's not going to no doctors to get no alter nothing. And it was just like, even those things are small, they're big because it's a sign of me having my word and me leading in the direction that I want to go. Like, if you say, no, it's my money, my body, then yes, it's your money, your body, and whoever else you're going to be with, because it couldn't exist with someone like me. And I'm not domineering. I'm just intentional about this process that I'm in and dating with a purpose. And I wasn't going to settle for some things and hoping that they would change later. I wanted to be addressed up front, be very intentional about this. So I say all this to let you all know that, hey, this is life I'm living in real time. This is not hey, I'm trying to get on YouTube to get money or this and that. Man, I already had a 28-year career in the Army. I'm depending on the Most High to take care of me. I don't need anything from anyone. Now, if y'all decide to shoot something my way, I ain't gonna turn it down. But anyways, that's not the principal purpose of why I'm here. The principal purpose of why I'm here is that to reach my higher self and to help as many young kings reach it as well. So I couldn't reach my higher self still shacking up with a woman and then getting on here and telling you about be your higher self. This is a holistic thing. I gotta clean. There's stuff in my closet that's being cleaned out. Like, this is a real journey, and this is real growth in what we're trying to evolve to. So when it goes back to what it says, can two walk together unless they agree? I'm trying to agree with the Most High. Like, the Most High is holy, so I can't be living unholy. You know, the Most High is righteous, so now I gotta be righteous, but not on my own righteousness, on Yahshua righteousness, you know, one that's been bestowed upon me. I just got to walk it out. So two can't walk together unless they agree. And now I'm in agreement with the Most High. I got the I am king, and I went and found my queen. So when you start shaping your life up, there's going to be some people that are not too pleased or happy with your decisions. But the only one you should be taking a counsel of is the Most High. When the Most High spoke to me that morning, I knew he wanted me to make a move. And I knew that I didn't have everything that it took to make this thing work. I depended on him to make sure that it came to fruition. You can't go wrong when you depend on the Most High. So when you reform your reality, this is not just for speech. This is not just for YouTube. This is to be lived. So the king is engaged. I got my queen. The date is 27 August. So I didn't just get engaged and just say, I'm going to be engaged for a year. I set a date. It's about 6 months out. The 27th of August is the date that we will be married. And in that vein with that, it can't just say we engaged now, let's continue to live where we were. We both agreed no more sex until that day. We're going to reform our reality of restoring our relationships and get it back in right standings. So grow with us. There's more to come. I'll get back on the regularly scheduled program, but also I'm going to be dropping jewels along this journey and taking you along on this engagement and wedding journey, and we can see where this goes. Be blessed, young kings.
She has the perfect hands for it. Mm-hmm. Beautiful.
You like it?
I like it.
You want it?
Do it.
Yeah.
Awesome. This is exciting. And look,
Video it then.
video it. Let's see. Oh, oh, this is so exciting.
Let's wrap it up.
That's so exciting. Oh. Okay, so let me be a part of it.
Wrap it up.
Wow.
Danger. Once you get into the desert, there's no going back, said the camel driver. And when you can't go back, you have to worry only about the best way of moving forward. The rest is up to Allah, including the danger.